2, we have 9 innings or a 2-hour time limit. Unless, rule number 3, if we are tied, it will force a one-on-one showdown tiebreaker, 1 hitter versus 1 pitcher with 1 fielder. Rule number 4, there is no bunting because bunting sucks. If you bunt, you're thrown out of the game. Swing the bat. Rule number 5, batters can steal first base. Rule number 6, there are no walks in banana ball. Ball 4 is a sprint. The runner can go as far as they want till all 9 fielders touch the ball. Rule number 7, batters may not step out of the batter's box. If they do, he'll call it a strike. Rule number 8, there are no mound visits. And rule number 9, the most fans first rule of them all. If any of you fans catch a foul ball in this game, it counts for an out. And those are the rules of banana ball. Now it is time for the traditional banana ball weigh-in. Introducing first, making his way out of the Party Animals dugout. If Sam Elliott, Thurman Munson, and the Macho Man Randy Savage were to combine their DNA and have a child, he would look like this mountain of a man. He is the player coach for the Party Animals. Give it up for Mike Vava Vuvisis. He comes in this evening at 215 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal. And opposing him, coming out of the Savannah Bananas dugout, he is the darling of Banana Land. Women want him, men want to be him. He is rip-roaring, jacked up, and ready to go. Give it up for Noah Bridges.
Are those mints?
He comes in tonight at 196 pounds of pure potassium power. And now Vincent Chapman. 3, 2, 1, go! And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have something very special for you here in Oklahoma City. Welcome to the Banana Ball Home Run Derby. In Banana Ball, a home run derby is done to determine home field advantage. So it's going to be Party Animals versus Bananas. We'll explain the rules as they go. There are 4 stations for home runs. We're going to start with the Party Animals right there behind second base. A self-toss home run ball will be the home run number 1. Home run 2, close to second base, is going to be off the tee. In between there and the mound is going to be the 3rd one. That's a soft toss, and the rest of the home runs will all happen at home plate. They have 90 seconds, and representing the Party Animals, put your hands together for the heavy hitter himself, Jake Skull.
Scala and Josh Talevsky taking back over from the young professor. What a moment this is. Jake Skull back in Banana Land, took a flight in from the Atlanta area this morning, and look at that towering blast. No doubt at a dead center. He's got the first one out of the way, screaming line drive off the top of the wall, and that one off the top of the wall as well. Sometimes you're just a barrel machine. Skull trying to elevate and celebrate. That's going to do it. All the way to the batter's eye. 2 homers, about 1 minute and 5 seconds to go. Remember, this is for home field advantage. As that one travels in on Skull, and he ends up hitting 2 out from the soft toss spot. Only 1 will count, so he's got 3 in the books. As we get to the traditional batting practice, 50 seconds on the clock.
45 seconds
Jake has won 4 of the 6 home run derbies he's participated in on the tour. Taken down Dan Oberst 3 times, Dakota McFadden once. He hit 10 homers in Las Vegas Ballpark a Saturday ago. 30 seconds on the clock. It's tough here to right. It's 325 down the line, but the wall's elevated, and it juts out to 365 incredibly quickly. That baby looks like it's going to have the chutzpah to do it, and there it is, his first homer from the plate. They come in bunches. Looked like he got another one into the bullpen area there. But they're going to say that it's just 4 homers, so 1 long ball from each station.
Yeah, really tough there for Jake Skoll. Again, a lot of the left-handed hitters for the Bananas and the Party Animals commented this ballpark not friendly to them. Kind of surprising that the Party Animals for once didn't try and mix things up and maybe go with a guy like Bryson Bloomer to swing from the right side. You've got to think Dan is in a really great position here for the Bananas to win this home run derby and then decide whether they want to be the home or the away team.
Dan beat Jake in Daytona in the first home run derby on the tour by 1 swing. But ever since that, it had been 3 straight defeats until Las Vegas, when he had a flurry of 7 homers on his last 7 swings and beat Skoll 11-10 in the most exciting home run derby in Banana Ball history. 2 swings is all it takes to get the first 2 bombs. Make it 3 long balls in 3 swings of the bat. And now Dan with about 1 minute and 5 seconds with Tyler Gillum, his head coach for the past 5 years in Banana Land, firing them in. That one's got the distance. It's off the foul pole for homer number 4. Oh my gosh. This is an insane barrage. These things flying out of here. We're going to say that last one was foul. It's just a matter of time at this point. Dan rips another foul bomb. We're still at 4, but 45 seconds to go. And that's going to do it. Dan knows it. It sails out of here. The Bananas will get to choose who is home and who is away.
Takes the W. We'll meet Dan out here. We'll find out if the Bananas want to be the home team or the away team. Dan, what's it going to be here in Banana Land tonight?
We're going to take all the walk-offs here in Oklahoma City. We're going to be the home team.
You heard it, ladies and gentlemen. Bananas are the home team here in Oklahoma City.
The pride of Largo, Florida speaks, and his command will be taken seriously. The Nanners are the home team for the 35th time in 38 games on this tour. The parade going down the right field line. Welcome it up into the broadcast booth. Pico Scala, Josh Talevsky. Dan with a couple straight home run derby wins. That power swing is looking beautiful.
Yeah, Dan swinging the bat really well. Had 2 hits last night for the Bananas. A crazy barrel double in the middle of the ball game. I mean, he's just been swinging it very well since coming back from his hamstring injury. I think we can expect more offensive firepower for Dan and the rest of the Bananas, who claimed the game-1 victory last night behind 5 doubles.
How about that? 5 two-baggers. Pretty impressive. Yeah, Dan's double, I think, was about 118 miles per hour off the bat. Okay, let's go in to the Party Animals and Bananas lineups tonight. We'll see how they shake out against Kyle Lewigs and Garrett Delano. First off, for the bad boys of Banana Land, the Party Animals coming in at 15, 12, and 2. It's Reese Hampton, the switch hitting center fielder at the top, leading the tour with his .396 batting average, 13 doubles, speaking of two-baggers, and 42 runs scored. Joe Lytle in the 2-hole for the 2nd straight night back in his home city, went 3 for 5 an evening ago, raised his batting average 17 points up to .308. Jake Skoll back in action, the tour leader in on-base percentage, slugging, ball 4 sprints, and the Party Animals leader in long balls. Former first-round pick is back in the 3-hole with Bryson Bloomer, hitting cleanup once again, his 33 ribeyes pacing the tour. He's also top 2 in batting average and OBP, 3rd in slugging. Dalton Cornett, 5th on the tour with his .349 batting average, 4th overall with his .429 OBP. Tanner Thomas in the 6-hole, hitting .296, and tied for the tour lead in steals of first base. D-Mac and Bloomer both tied him last night with 3 apiece. Chase Acuff playing shortstop, hitting 7th, his .385 on-base percentage, 10th best on the tour. Jason Swan riding a 10-game on-base streak with a single in the 3rd inning last night, holding down first base and hitting 8th. It's the Stylin' Hawaiian, one of the co-showmen of the night an evening ago, thanks to a 2-for-4 night with a long ball and a beautiful trick play, his first home run in Banana Ball. And rounding out the order, Dustin Baber. His 6-game trick play streak was snapped a night ago. I would wager that he's back in the trick play department tonight. Garrett Delano on the bump, the Party Animals ace leader in strikeouts, 37 Ks and just 6 ball 4 sprints in 45 2/3 innings tossed for Garrett. For the Nanners opposing him, 17-18-2 on the tour, 1 win away from getting back to 500. DR Meadows playing center field and leading it off, 7th best on the tour with his .333 average and .412 on base percentage. Eric Jones with 9 homers to pace all hitters and a .1042 OPS, 28 ribeyes to lead the Bananas. Michael Deeb in the 3-hole, as he's been known to be over the last few months. 7th on the tour with his .333 average, right there with DR, and just 5 points behind him in the 8th spot in on-base percentage. Dan Oberst hitting cleanup, just won the home run derby, pacing the Nanners in average, on-base percentage, and doubles with 10 of them. Dakota McFadden got his tied for the tour lead, 12th walk-off last night. Same goes for his 3rd steal of first base, as I just mentioned. Jackson Olsen in the 6-hole, playing third base. His .327 batting average, 9th best overall. .541 slugging, his 7th best. Ryan Cox, the glove magician at shortstop, hitting 7th. Only 1 error since March 13th, all the way back in Sugar Land. Bill Leroy in the 8-hole. Batting average is up to .295. On base percentage is at .404. This is his 10th straight game behind the dish. Danny Hosley in the 9-hole. He has 12 walk-offs. He got one last night, tied with D-Mac for the tour lead. He's the co-showman of last evening's contest with Breland Almadova. And rounding out the order, Noah Bridges, the only Banana with multiple homers, triples, and doubles. Starting, it's Cowboy Kyle Lewigs, leading the tour with 75 innings pitched, 58 Ks. But it's a double-edged sword getting all those opportunities. Also leads the tour in homers given up, hits, and earned runs. So, Josh, the Bananas looking for their first sweep of a city since all the way back in the start of March in Jacksonville, and Saturdays have been a problem for them, very different than Fridays.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The Bananas on a winning streak here on Friday games, but on Saturdays, believe it or not, the Party Animals have not lost on a Saturday since March the 25th in Montgomery, Alabama. They have been able to avoid some series sweeps here on the road and in Grayson Stadium, and I mean, it's going to be a very interesting contest as we've got Kyle Lewigs, Garrett Delano, the aces of these two squads, but we've kind of seen these guys struggling as of late.
Yeah, the Bananas won their 6th straight game on a Friday last night. They have lost 4 straight Saturdays, and you talk about how Delano and Lewigs, the aces for the first couple months on this tour, have struggled as of late.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle Lewigs has been excellent against challenger opponents, 3 wins, but he does not have a win against the Party Animals. You see here the numbers for the guys, and overall, really great stuff, especially from Garrett Delano. The ERA plus really stands out. Again, 100 is a league average ERA plus. Garrett Delano, 61% better than the tour average Banana Ball pitcher. And for Kyle Lewigs, again, pacing the tour in strikeouts. The ball 4 sprint numbers he'd like to lower just a little bit. And really for him, he's had first inning woes more than anything against the Party Animals. And that's what he's got to cut down on, is just getting through that first inning unscathed.
After the Party Animals scored 15 runs on 20 hits and only struck out once on Saturday night in Las Vegas, the Bananas were the offensive juggernaut an evening ago. You got to think those Party Animals are really excited to see their big bopper Jake Skull back in the middle of the lineup.
I mean, it gets the lineup so much deeper for them. They're going to keep Joe Lytle in the 2 spot as well, and it just allows them to bat guys like Dalton Cornett a little later in the lineup. Chase Acuff, who's riding a hit streak, gets to bat in the 7 spot. The lineup is incredibly deep for the Party Animals, and I know that they're looking forward to going up against Kyle given their recent success. success.
Yeah, that is a fact. And once again, we send our condolences and just our heartwarming thoughts to the Skoll family. Mike Skoll, Jake's dad, passed away earlier this week. That's why Jake wasn't in the lineup for the first time in 29 games last night. And Mike was an absolutely wonderful man, a true baseball lover who grew to love banana ball, and seeing Jake in all three of these world tours. It's a guy who raised a first-round draft pick in Jake and a fifth-round draft pick in his brother. So that's a really big loss in Banana Land, and our hearts go out to the Skoll family. Now, we are going to send this thing down in just a jiffy with Jake back in the 3-hole, leading the tour in on-base percentage, slugging, leading the Party Animals in home runs, leading all hitters in ball four sprints. What a guy to have back in the 3-hole. We have our national anthem coming up, and then it is going to be first pitch before we know it. We'll throw it down for the anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and remove your hats. Here to honor America with the singing of tonight's national anthem, please welcome Jason Scott and the High Heat.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. On the ramparts we watched were so gallantly strewn, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Welcome in to Game 38 of the 2023 Banana Ball World Tour, loved by Zappos. We are live from the capital of the Sooner State, the big friendly Oklahoma City. From Chickasaw, Bricktown Ballpark, the Bananas and Party Animals do battle for the 30th time on this young season. Party Animals at 15-12-2, 3 games better than the Nanners in the season matchup. The Bananas overall 17-18-2, thanks to a 5-3 record against challenger teams. Jesse Cole and company fired up for the second of 2 games here in OKC. Biko Scala and Josh Talevsky in the broadcast booth, joined by the head coach of the University of Science and Arts of Oklahoma, Mr. Tyle Hankins. How you living, Big Tiger?
Thank you guys for having me. It's good to be back.
Fired up to have you, an assistant coach on the Nanners in 2020 and 2022. He's got a Pettit Cup championship ring on that finger as you get a look at how the Nanners line up defensively. Ryan Cox leading the tour with his 58 trick plays and 60 tries. At shortstop and DR, 18 trick plays in 20 attempts rather in center field, leading all outfielders. And Kyle Lewig's on the bump, also pacing pitchers with his 6 trick plays. How wild is it for you, Tile, to get to see Kyle, Bill, Dan Oberst, Christian Dearman, and company in front of this miraculous full-capacity Oklahoma crowd?
Man, it's awesome. You know, was with those guys for a couple summers, and just to be able to see them go out and compete against, it's awesome, especially with this crowd, and those guys are some of the best to ever do it. So.
Now, you are an Oklahoman through and through. Have you been surprised by the raucous support from your fellow people here back-to-back evenings?
Oh, it's unbelievable. I was telling you all earlier, everywhere I go in Oklahoma, I see Bananas gear everywhere. So it's not a shock to me. I know they love them some Bananas, and you know, just to see this crowd out here tonight it's unbelievable.
Here's the guy that you got to coach in his 3rd season as Banana and your maiden voyage in Savannah in the summer of 2020. This is now year 6 for Cowboy Kyle, 4 collegiately, and year 2 now as a pro. The tour leader in innings pitched, strikeouts, hits given up, home runs as well with 8. And as you can see at the bottom, the co-host of the Ripe Rundown, probably the most important thing you see on that graphic there. Let's look at how the Party Animals line up against one of the twin princes of Bananaland, Mr. Kyle Lewis. It's Reese Hampton at the top, the switch-hitting center fielder. Joe Lytle in his 2nd straight game in the 2-hole, and Jake Skoll also due up in right field here in the 1st. Then Bryson Bloomer at 3rd base in the cleanup spot. They round out the order with Cornette, Thomas, Acuff, Swan, Almodovar, and Baber. Here's Jesse Cole.
I need everyone here to yell, "Start the clock." 1, 2, 3. Showtime.
Leading off.
Here comes Hampton, the 12th round draft pick of the Detroit Tigers back in 2018. Leading the World Tour with that .396 batting average, as well as the 42 runs scored. And the 6 homers you see on the screen, well, that is tied for 3rd best with Dakota McFadden. The 188 OPS plus is based off a league average of 100. It's a video game type tour so far for Reese Hampton. Not surprising at all after he was excellent as the Bananas man, main center fielder a tour ago. He's traded the yellow for the black and pink. Taps that one to the right side. Jackson Olsen in the Hampton shift, able to hang with the bobble. Good play there from the greatest showman in Bananaland, and that is a huge first out for Kyle.
Yeah, Reese Hampton has led off the past few games with singles off of Kyle Lewis. Actually, some extra base hits sprinkled in there as well. That is a huge first out. Despite Jackson Olsen's juggling act, he's able to make the play at first base.
Now Joe Lytle, the OKC kid who was born and raised here in the 405, went to school at Oklahoma City University as Danny Hosley at 2nd base. One of the showmen of the night an evening ago. Only the 3rd time we've had co-showmen on the tour. And he produces our first trick play of the night. He's now 12 for 12 in his attempts on the tour.
And all 12 of those trick plays have come since April 21st. And before that date, he had 0. It's incredible the pace he's been on since then.
It's Charleston, West Virginia against the Dirty Birds. Boy, he's been ripping them off left and right since then. Now Jake Skoll back in the lineup after missing his first game on the tour an evening ago. As I mentioned in the pregame, leading all hitters with his .480 on base percentage, his .1260 OPS. He's also pacing everybody with his .780 slugging percentage. Reese Hampton's 58 points behind him, the only other man in the 700s.
And what's crazy is Skoll batting .294 here in the month of May. To a normal player, that would be a stellar month, but the way Skoll's been playing, this is the worst month he's had all season.
Yeah, it's brought his tour batting average down to .370. He thought that was ball 4. Keeps his feet in the box, so a payoff now coming from Cowboy Kyle. That ball popped up in the infield. Ryan Cox makes the call and tries to go behind his back. He does! First behind the back snag on the tour for the trick play king. The glove magician now 59 for 61 in his attempts. That was a doozy.
That was an incredible play by Ryan Cox, as you could see here on the replay. What a snag. We've seen a couple like that on the infield, and Ryan Cox just getting more and more creative the more defensive opportunities he gets on the tour.
His back was to home plate when he made the snag. That was incredible from the pride of Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. Great first inning for Kyle Lewigs. 2 minutes and 23 seconds is all it takes to get the Big Boppers down in order. And now you take a look at how the Party Animals line up defensively behind Garrett Delano, who has to keep the Bananas off the board, make sure that the Party Animals don't cede the first point available tonight. Breland Almadova, one of the co-showmen with Danny Hosley last night, picked up his 10th trick play on a miraculous between-the-leg snag in left. He starts out there for the second straight night. Hampton in center, Skoll in right. And Bloomer, Acuff, Baber, and Swan in the infield. Dustin Baber at second base, second on the tour with his 30 trick plays and 32 tries.
But we saw last night some defensive miscues from the Party Animals. They're going to want to limit that tonight, but they're lining up with a very standard infield defense, and I know they're going to enjoy having Jake Skoll back out there in right.
There's a poll in the chat. Who is the cooler Cowboy, Kyle Lewigs or Garrett Delano? Well, it was an excellent top of the first for Kyle. We'll see if Garrett, a 2018 Banana, made his debut in Savannah the same summer as Mr. Lewigs, opposing him on the bump, can hold serve here in the bottom half of the first. Garrett averaging 4 minutes and 27 seconds per inning thrown, and he's less than 3 innings behind Dylan Porter for the Party Animals tour lead.
And he'd likely have that lead if it wasn't for his last start, where he only went an inning and 2/3. He actually pitched in 4 innings for the Party Animals, but he only recorded 5 outs for them, hence the inning and 2/3.
Yeah, that's where it gets tricky for Party Animals pitchers when it comes to having innings walked off on them, as it looks like we've got a pretty riveting finish to the toddler race, which is going to end in a draw. How many times do you think in your 2 summers in Banana Land, Tile, did you see a toddler actually make it to the finish line?
Not very many. Maybe I can count on one hand how many times I actually saw that.
You get a look at the Bananas starting lineup. D.R. Meadows at the top, Eric Jones Jr. and Michael Deeb due to swing it in the first. Oberst, McFadden, Olson, Cox, Leroy, Hosley, and Bridges round out the 10 who swing it for the Bananas. And D.R. coming in hitting .333, a .412 on base percentage with 11 walk-offs. Third best on the tour. How big of a spark plug was he for you guys when he came in halfway through the season from Columbus State a summer ago and swiped 26 bags in as many attempts at just 20 games played?
Man, it was unreal. As soon as he got there, he just fit right in with the guys and gave us the spark we needed for the stretch. Every time he got on base, it was like he was getting a double because he's automatically stealing second. It was awesome.
He is a gamer, and the craziest part of it is did most of that playing in the infield, second base predominantly, a little third, a little short. And every Banana Ball game he's ever played in, he's been in the outfield, mostly in center. Just a superhuman athlete. 3-1 from Delano, as that one just misses the top of the zone. Early sprint here for the Bananas. DR is testing the defense, and he beats Breland Almadova to the bag. Nice toe touch to celebrate. Inning-winning run in scoring position for Eric Jones. We got a base hit in the first inning an evening ago. Part of a single outburst for Meadows, Jones, and Deeb, who waits on deck to walk off that first inning.
In the first inning, traditionally a good one for the Bananas. They're batting well over 300 as a team alone in the first inning.
Jones hitting .342, a .418 on base percentage, leading the Bananas with his .1042 OPS. It's been tremendous in his second straight tour for the Nanners.
And Jones also the first Banana to reach the 40 hit plateau last night.
Joins Reese Hampton up there. Party Animals have had 1,223 plate appearances on the tour. It's a foul ball. The Bananas have had 1,218, so they're 5 behind the Party Animals, even though they have played 8 more games.
And that's what'll happen when you get to walk-off innings. It just ends up being fewer at-bats for some of the Savannah Bananas.
Pretty fascinating dichotomy. Delano as a back pick. Strong throw from Lytle, but DR back in time. Garrett is one bad one away from gifting the Bananas the point here in the first.
And Garrett, a guy with a very low ball four sprint rate this season. We have not seen him walk back-to-back batters yet this season.
EJ fists that one into shallow left. Acuff can't get there. DR had to wait to see if it would drop, so he'll go station to station, men on the corners with nobody gone. And this is as sticky a situation as you could find yourself with the walk-off run 90 feet away. Michael Deeb, last year's walk-off king, 5 of them in just 12 games against the Party Animals. Comes in with 9 on this tour. And tied with DR, hitting .333 overall for 7th best. His first offering from Delano, a strike. 0-1 on Deeb. Now, Tyle, the University of Science and Arts of Oklahoma is in Chickasaw.
Yes, sir.
About 40 minutes southeast of us as Deeb fouls that off. Quick 0-2 count. What's going on in Chickasaw, Oklahoma?
Oh, not much right now. We just got back from the opening round up in Idaho. Unfortunately, our season came to an end up there, but we had a pretty good run, and, you know, now just getting some recruiting knocked out and had to get up here for Banana Land.
How wild is it to see how this thing has transformed since your maiden voyage in the bizarre summer that was 2020?
Oh, man, when we got here yesterday, you know, I was just looking at all the people, and I was just like, this is unreal. You know, you can't describe it. It's so awesome to see how much it's grown, and it's going to keep going, man. Just phenomenal job by everybody.
Throw 2 to Deeb.
Ooh.
And we'll do it again. Meadows off third, Jones off first. Now, how weird is it for you to be bouncing back and forth from the baseball world to Banana Land to the baseball world to the Cape to Banana Land? I mean, it's got to be pretty interesting.
Yeah, you know, you see a lot of different things. You see a lot of good baseball, though. There's one common denominator, and that's a lot of good baseball. So doesn't matter where you're at. It's always good baseball with these clubs. So, you know, it's just, I just can't say how awesome it is. I just keep saying that, but it doesn't do it justice. So.
Good take there by Deeb. Excellent stop by Lytle to keep EJ on first. And Meadows, the inning-winning run, stationed at third. Sticky situation for the Party Animals. EJ takes off, pitches outside. Lytle fakes the throw home. DR's caught in a rundown. Lytle chasing them back towards third. Now Bloomer will apply the tag on his teammate. Reggie Liggins, the umpire, is going to say that the out was made and the contact that knocked the ball out does not mean DR is safe. That was an excellent pump fake, as you can see right here, by the OKC kid, Mr. Lytle. That's a huge first out. Inning-winning run now at second.
Yeah, that's really the fortunate situation is for the Bananas. Even though DR caught stealing there at third, you still have a runner in scoring position in Eric Jones.
Tell you what, you didn't see a whole lot of mistakes on the base paths from DR in his first summer as a Banana. Seems like he almost does everything perfect. It's shocking when he's caught in a pickle. Delano, for the second time in the inning, is a bad pitch away from giving the Bananas a point. 3-2 to Deeb. And there it is.
There it is.
Jones is going to score easily from third. Michael Deeb has his 10th walk-off of the tour. Delano, who had only given up 6 sprints on the entire tour, gives up a pair of them here in the first inning, and the Nanners up 1-0. I've teased it a few times tonight, but we had dual showmans an evening ago. Breland Almadova and Danny Hosley. How'd they do it, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, it was an incredible night as you see the styling Hawaiian here coming up to the plate in the third against Jared Donaldson. And how about this? A swing and a drive out to the Budweiser deck, and Breland Almodovar has his first career banana ball home run. Now, up in the fourth against Donnie once again. How about another hit, a single to left field? Now, Michael Deeb up. Critical situation. Tied at 2 runs in the fifth. Breland on the warning track with a between-the-legs catch, keeping the game knotted, and Michael Deeb could not believe it. But that's not all. Danny Hosley getting in on the showman action. Behind the back trick play in right field. We hadn't seen him do that yet on the tour. And now coming up in the seventh, it's a 2-1 Bananas lead. And Hosley, a ground rule double. He's gonna walk off the inning. Bill excited. And Danny, once again, Breland, fly ball, and how about some showman on showman crime? Danny Hosley with a great diving snag, and of course the Bananas closer as well. And he got the strikeout of Dustin Baber, a little bit of some boogieing. Reese Hampton, you don't see him strike out too much. He goes down swinging, and Dalton Cornett with 2 on and 2 outs, a pop-up to Ryan Cox, and the Bananas would claim the victory, and Hosley would get his 4th save in the month of May.
It's half of his saves on the tour. He has been magnificent now out of all the fresh free faces in Banana Land, Tile. Has anybody impressed you more than Danny Hosley?
Oh man, just watching his stuff last night from down there, I can tell you in the dugout, his stuff was electric. You know, the guys that told me, hey, when he comes in, you need to watch this because it's pretty good, and pretty good didn't do it justice. His stuff was electric last night, so that was awesome to see.
And it's just impressive. Guys like Bill Lee, I mean, former Major League veterans are saying Danny Hosley could close in Major League Baseball right now.
I'm telling you, some of those pitches he threw last night, I was just like, good luck hitting that, boys.
You don't have a 1.45 ERA in 31 innings pitched for nothing. Nice first pitch slider there against Bryson Bloomer. Pair of 2021 CPL teammates as the Boomer drives that out to right center, but Noah Bridges over into the gap. And the 2022 Wilmington Shark played 4 games against the Boomer in the CPL as the Nanners battled the Sharks. Twice in Wilmington, twice in Savannah. It's there to put him away. Now Dalton Cornett, in his second tour for the Party Animals. Caught last night, gets the half evening off here in Game 2 in Oklahoma City. Pride of Pippa Passes, Kentucky, hitting .349, a .429 on base percentage. Good for 5th and 4th on the tour, respectively. Check swing. Ooh. Reggie Liggins says that DC3 held up. And Kyle wondering where the pitch missed. Looks like he's got a Madonna mic on him. A little lavalier action. See if he starts talking to us here in Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark. Seems like he's got the capabilities. Gives up a 5-pitch sprint there. The Nanners defense textbook. Cornett's been thrown out at second base 3 times on the tour across his 17 sprints compared to just 7 strikeouts. And he's on first with 1 away.
And what might have gone unnoticed to the eyes of our broadcast viewers is Bill with a low throw down on that sprint defense. Ryan Cox with an unbelievable pick, kept that ball in front of him and limited Cornett to just 1 base on the ball 4 sprint.
It's a big play by the glove magician. 0-1 count now on Tanner Thomas, 2018 and 2019 collegiate Banana. It's been heating up as of late, comes in hitting .296, gives that a ride deep to left. Michael Deeb with his back to the plate, looking up. Oh, Oppo Taco!
Wow.
Tanner Tinder Thomas leaves the ballpark. And the Party Animals down a point, get a pair of runs here in the top of the 2nd inning.
He got all of that one. Jeez.
4th Bommaroonie on the tour for the man out of Fleming Island, Florida.
And it had been a little bit of a long time coming for Tanner Thomas. That's his first home run since Montgomery.
And another look at the swing right here, a little backdoor bender. How about the launch angle? Kyle trying to steal a strike. No such luck. He's the unfortunate honor of giving up his tour-leading 9th long ball. First time that Tanner Thomas has taken him deep. And DR there to retire Chase Acuff. Now it'll be Jason Swan in the 8 hole, the first baseman. Swanee working on a 10-game on-base streak. And how about Kyle is certainly talking to the crowd now. What's he asking for?
Slider. We're going to go slider.
How about that? Swanee knew a slider was coming. Kyle still gets the pop out. And Kyle says good call as he walks off the mound.
Well, he picked the right man to ask the crowd who to throw against. Jason Swan batting 200 against Kyle Lewiggs on the season.
Believable. Kyle Hankins, I would love to have you up here all night, but I don't want to keep you out of the dugout with all your fellow Oklahomans having a blast tonight. Can't tell you how much we appreciate you popping up to the booth.
No, thank you guys for having me on. It's always great to see you guys and be up here, and just always great to be back here in Banana Land, man. Nothing can describe it. It's just awesome with all these people.
The feeling is very mutual, Kyle.
You guys are legends. I'm just going to say that. It goes Reggie, then y'all. That's all I'm going to say.
That's high praise.
Hey, that's as high as I can put it.
You going to chase us down the road to Tosa?
I think I am, you know.
All right.
And hopefully we'll see what goes on for the rest of summer.
I love it. Kyle, thank you so much again, man.
Thank you, guys.
There goes Mr. Kyle Hankins as you get another look at the Tanner Thomas opposite field homer. 2 runs for the Party Animals in the top of the second. Garrett Delano has some runs to work with here as we pop back up into the broadcast booth to talk about Mario Kart.
For anybody who was tuned into our broadcast the other night, I believe people are aware there was a little bit of some beef, as you would say, between me and Mr. Cowboy Kyle out there on the mound, who, by the way, I'm not rooting against tonight. I'd like that to be said. But we've actually got some, we played in Mario Kart last night. He called to challenge me, and we've got some evidence of how this went. So Kyle, of course, told the people he always races as Toad. Well, I decided to race as King Boo and beat Kyle 40-39, as you could see. And then once again, in a second race, I absolutely demolished Kyle.
Dan Oberst reaches a very rare error from Dustin Baber, only his 6th of the tour, for the Party Animals leader in trick plays. And all of a sudden, tying run will be at the dish for the Nanners here in the second inning. I would like to congratulate you on your Mario Kart prowess, Josh. There was a whole lot of hoopla around your rivalry with the ace of Banana Land, Mr. Kyle Lewiggs, and you let your driving do the talking.
Yes, I did. That was the goal. I was pretty locked in. I was a lot more vocal in our contest on Thursday, but I was, as Reggie Horton would say, locked in and tapped in.
And did you stay aggressive?
Of course I did.
It's good. It's checking pretty much all the boxes Reggie could want from you in a Mario Kart race. That one just misses high. Count 2-0 on the ever-dangerous Dakota McFadden. Pretty much the Bananas' permanent DH. Dan over at first base, the extra hitter. That one cranked down the third baseline. Fair. Kicks up chalk. Dan racing towards third. And he's going to be waved around by Tyler Gillum. RBI 2-bagger for D-Mac. His 9th double on the tour, just one behind Dan for the team lead.
And how about this for Dakota McFadden? This is his 7th hit in the month of May. 5 of them have gone for extra bases, 3 home runs, now 2 doubles. Dakota McFadden has gotten his hits when it is counted this month.
Couldn't have hugged the line any tighter. As you see Dan jogging into score, still recovering from the pulled hamstring back in Kansas City. Well, he did swipe his first bag since coming back from the injury last night. Here's Jackson Olsen. Represents the inning-winning run. Garrett Delano trying to pick up his defense. The run scored is unearned. Malachi Mitchell pinch runs for Dakota McFadden on second base. That's your tour leader in steals. You can see it 33 for 35, and the Bananas leader in runs scored with 40.
And we're starting to see a recurring theme in this series for the Party Animals. Yet another defensive miscue allows the Bananas to score a run.
That's a big first out from Delano as he takes care of Jackson himself. And all the more impressive because Olsen batting average up to 327, slugging up to 541, and he really does his damage in the second inning.
I mean, he enters play tonight batting .609 in the second inning, and unfortunately for him, it's going to drop just a little bit, probably somewhere in the 590s.
Can pencil him pretty much into the 6 or 7 spot all tour, so you see why he gets so many opportunities in the second. He loves those first plate appearances of the night. Mariners shortstop Ryan Cox flicks that into shallow left. His counterpart, Mr. Chase Acuff, makes the snag. And Delano should be out of the inning. Party Animals should have tied this game at a point apiece. But thanks to the error, the Niners still have life. And it's one of the twin princes of Banana Land, Bill Leroy. As tough a guy to strike out as you can find on either team. Batting average up to 295, the on-base percentage at 404. And he's leading the team with his 13 ball, 4 sprints, leading the tour with only 6 strikeouts.
And it's really the on-base percentage that is crucial to look at for Bill Leroy. In the month of May alone, he has gotten on base 50% of the time.
It's pretty miraculous. He has matched his on-base percentage in his 4th and final year as a collegiate Banana, when he also reached base at a 404 clip. That was across 29 games played. He's been in all 38 of the games on this tour. It's pretty wild to think that with the Coastal Plain League just having their first night of action, I believe, an evening ago, maybe 2. Yeah, we'll call it 2. That Bill has already played more games here on this tour than he did in the summer of 2021. Tough play there for Garrett Delano. We call that an E1, Josh?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Let's take another look at it. That's a tough play. Can't expect that. And the recovery is tough. I think that's an infield single.
I think, look, we're hitter scores at the end of the day. You're welcome, Bill Leroy.
We've gone on the record saying it. He was 5 points away from 300 coming into the AB. Should be even closer now. Danny Hosley, the inning's tying run at third, the winning run across the diamond at first. Danny's tied with Dakota McFadden for the tour lead with 12 walk-offs. They each grabbed one last night. It's part of what really adds the value to having him at the bottom of the order in the 9-hole.
Well, the Bananas liked batting him early in the lineup so much at the beginning of the season, but in an effort to lengthen it a little bit, they moved up Michael Deeb, who was batting around the 5 and the 6 hole, into the 3 spot and slotted Danny Hosley further down. It's paid dividends for the Bananas.
2-0 pitch. All the way to the backstop. Malachi racing home. He scores the inning's tying run. Now the winners in scoring position on a devastating wild pitch for the Party Animals.
You do not see that very often. Garrett Delano has great command of the strike zone. Bill Leroy now up in scoring position. Danny Hosley still with an opportunity to get the walk-off knock here for the Nanners.
And the 3-0's down and away. The Party Animals gift the Bananas the second inning. Shades of the 2022 World Tour when the Animals just couldn't get out of their way. The 2023 Tour has been much different, with the Animals 3 games better than the Bananas. But they've been doing everything they could to give the Nanners points. here in Cinderella City, and a little booty work from Bill Leroy and his compadres celebrating the second inning win.
And how about this for Garrett Delano? 5 of his last 6 innings have resulted in walk-offs in favor of the Bananas.
And that one not his fault at all. Party Animals should have won the inning, 4 batters into it, 2-0. But the error, wild pitch, and the sprint at the end has the Bananas up 2 points to zip. Jared Donaldson, Jake Lealios, Brett Helton, Malachi Mitchell, and Maceo Harrison Boogie will be back for the top of the third.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Bananas player.
Savannah, you're Be Real.
Well, an excellent job, as per usual, from Maceo and the boys. Is Flash the Kid, Donnie, Helton, and Lealios to help him out with that streamer-filled boogie. We go to the second. Nanders won the first by a run. They win the second inning 3-2 and have a 2-point lead 2 innings into the ball game. Kyle Lewicks had a 1-2-3 first. Things got dicey in the second with the 1-base sprint and the 2-run homer off the bat of Tanner Thomas. But he's got the bottom of the order here, 9-10-1. Breland, Baber, and Hampton. The Stylin' Hawaiian shows bunt, nothing illegal against that. It's only if you make contact. And checks his swing, little excuse me, bouncer up the middle. Cox 360, throw to first, never had a chance. Eric Jones is smothered by the streamers, and that thing took an insane bounce. It's going to gift Breland second base. EJ would have tracked that down. Almodovar would have been still at first.
And EJ just cannot seem to escape the streamers right now. He's doing everything to slam these things down, and they're still hanging on his glove and his cleats.
Breland in his second tour with the Party Animals. Went 2 for 4 with the dinger last night. Infield single to start this one off. That's Ryan Cox's first error in a couple weekends. It's only his second error since March 13th in Sugarland. And it's dancing time. Swifty season. Kyle, Cox, Hosley, and Meadows dancing around to a little Karma by T Swift.
T Swizzle, as some of the kids call her.
I've heard a lot of the youth actually switching it up to T Swizzle as of late. Josh, always hot in the streets.
I'm hip.
Dustin Baber lifts that one to right. Noah Bridge is in. Danny Hosley out. It's a tough play for Danny. Makes it look easy, and that's a big first out for Kyle. Breland still at second base. To the top of the order we go. Reese Hampton grounded out to third when he led off the ball game. Switch hitting center fielder out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Ahead of ball and no strikes.
And boy, if this isn't an ideal situation for Reese Hampton. Not only does he have a .407 batting average against Kyle Lewis on the season, but he leads all players with batting average with runners in scoring position, although Danny Hosley is going to make a great play at second base, and yet another defensive gem, whether he is in right field or at second base, he can do it all.
Full extension, face slamming against the grass, and throwing it first from his knees. Gets Reese lightning by a hair. And Danny dancing to celebrate. A dance that he choreographed himself and the team has fallen in love with. So the baton passed to Joe Lytle with Breland at third base. First pitch behind Party Animals catcher, grounded out to second. It was a trick play from Danny that took care of the OKC kid first time around. Hosley had the diving catch in right last night. He also had a pushes home Breland from third on the 5-pitch sprint. Lytle snags his 23rd ribeye, and the Styling Hawaiian touches home plate safely for the 18th time on the tour. That's something he touched on pregame. Is his first couple outings on the tour. He was really limiting the sprints, but they've become a bugaboo over the past month or two.
And it's something Kyle will acknowledge is something that he kind of wants to cut down on. I would say he needs to cut down on, and I know Kyle would say that himself, as he's got to come up against arguably his greatest nemesis here on the tour, Jake Skoll.
4 of the 8 home runs that Jake has hit on the tour have been against Kyle. Pitcher's pitch, grazes the outside corner. Ahead 0-1 on the Animals right fielder, who popped out to short his first time. And same pitch, same result.
And Skoll really not happy about either of those pitches. Really intelligent by Lewis to go back to that spot.
Elevates the cheese, gets a foul ball. In Savannah, and he takes the words right out of my mouth. He's now 5 for 5 on the tour.
Great steal of second base by Joe Lytle, and the streamers don't hinder him at all.
He has embraced the chaos that the streamers bring. Beautiful head first slide ahead of the tag from Jackson Olsen. And a man in scoring position for a 2-2 pitch coming to Skoll. Make it 3-2. Lytle got his first 4 steals in 4 straight games. It had been a long time before he was on the move. That one tapped to Eric Jones. He tries to go behind his back to Kyle. And it's the first trick play missed from EJ in 3 tries on the tour.
Yeah, EJ has had a lot of fun getting tricky at first base. You like the behind-the-back play, but with 2 outs, really imperative that the Bananas had gotten that final out, especially with Jake Skoll up at the plate.
Now you put one of the fastest guys in Banana Land on first base. And the cleanup man for the Party Animals, Bryson Bloomer, who comes in hitting .385, second best batting average on the tour. And he's fooled by the first pitch slider. The Boomer put a charge into one his first time, flew out to deep right center. Quick 0-2 count. Lytle off third, Skoll off first. And a kind of foul tip into the mid of Leroy. Elevated heater does the job. Kyle picks up EJ over at first. And the Party Animals will have to settle with one run on one hit and two men stranded. Nanners lead 2-0, but the Animals threatening to grab their first point of the evening as you get another look at the K. It's Pie My Dad O'Clock here in Thundertown. We'll throw it down to Jesse Cole with his young contestant.
First, Brooklyn, are you ready for this? All right. Brooklyn, do you want this banana baseball or do you want to pie your dad?
Pie my dad.
She's got to pie her dad. Here we go, Brooklyn. Oh, the gentlest pie I've ever seen. All right, now, Brooklyn, do you want a bananas bat or do you want to pie your dad?
Pie dad.
She's got to pie her dad again.
Pie your dad.
Get on the dirt, get on the dirt. Okay, another gentle one, Brooklyn. Now, finally, do you want the bananas t-shirt or do you want to pie your dad?
Pie my dad.
She's got to pie him again. Go hard, go hard, go hard. The cutest pies I've ever seen. Brooklyn, for being such a good sport, I'm going to give you the ball, the bat, and the shirt, and you got to pie your dad. Let's hear it for 3-year-old Brooklyn.
A lot of good choices there from our young fan. And Dad with 3 pies to the face. Delano out for his third inning of work. He only got 1 out in the first and 2 outs in the second. Came into the ball game only giving up 6 sprints in his first 46 and 2/3 innings tossed. He's given up 3 sprints already in only a full inning of work.
It's surprising to see that ball four sprint rate up in this ball game. But how about this? The Bananas have walked off the first 2 innings. They came into the game with 98 walk-offs on the tour, meaning 100 walk-offs for the Bananas on the tour, and we've seen it in this ball game.
It took them 38 games, 35 of them as the home team, which is the only time you get a chance at walk-offs. But they've reached an even 100 as Noah Bridges, a victim of the nasty Garrett Delano curve. And the Bananas right fielder was the second strikeout victim of the evening for the Party Animals ace. To the top of the order we go as Tyler Gillum and his wife Danielle, as well as Matt Wolf and his wife Megan, both 2-stepping in the third and first base coaches' boxes, respectfully. Good check there on a tight cutter from Delano, who can't believe that Randy Voss didn't say that DR went around. 1-1 count on the Bananas center fielder, who got a 2-base sprint his first time and then was caught in a rundown between third and home. Both 2-stepping parties, keeping one eye on the plate, one eye on their partner to make sure that no foul balls from DR are hitting their vicinity. It's an impressive skill to have, as is the ability to hit a front door bender back up the middle for a base knock.
Great piece of hitting there by DR. It's going to extend his hit streak. 7 games now for Mr. Meadows.
He loves being at the top of the order. On base both times now tonight. 13 for 17 on the tour in his stolen base attempts. Eric Jones flared a little single into shallow left center his first time. Chops that one, just barely fouled on the third baseline. Awful similar to the RBI double from DMAC in the second. Just barely on the wrong side of the bag. Check on Mr. Meadows, back in plenty of time. As Jason Swan gives him a loving tap on the noggin. And the duo over there on first base will goof around with a little two-step. Check swing by EJ that gets the bottom of the inside corner. Count 0-2 on the Bananas first baseman. Tour leader in homers with 9. Bananas leader in RBIs with 28. Is the inning-winning run, should he come around to score. DR back with the head first dive. He's the innings tying run. And a devastating bender. Garrett gets his second K of the inning, third of the night. That thing had some serious bite to it.
That was a disgusting pitch by Garrett Delano, just breaking inside but back into the zone. EJ had nothing he could do. That completely tied him up. By the way, Eric Jones, that's only his second strikeout here in the month of May.
Still only 2 more Ks than sprints on the tour, 13-11. As Michael Deeb will try and keep the inning alive. And a 2-base sprint to walk off the first. That drove in Eric Jones to win it. Two-0 count to the Nanners left fielder. Delano on the bump, 2-seam, 4-seam, and cut fastballs. 90-92, touches 94-95. Curveball, slider, and changeup to round out the arsenal as that one scolded right into the mitt of Dustin Baber. A barrel for the Barrel King, but right into the leather of the party animal second baseman, and the boys in black and pink cut the Nanners lead in points in half. It's now a 2-1 game.
Boy, we have seen a lot of hard hit outs from Michael Deeb, just a lot of unfortunate luck for him.
As you get a look at all the strikeouts racked up from Delano and Lewig so far tonight. And the Banana Band will blast away as we head to the 4th inning. 2-1 ball game, the Nanners up top. And Pico Scala, Josh Talevsky in the booth, joined by Mr. Jake Lewig's older brother of Banana starting pitcher Kyle Lewig. Jake, thanks so much for coming up and hanging out with us.
No problem, guys.
It is been a wild ride for Kyle in Banana Land, as this is now year 6 for him. How crazy has it been to watch that from the outside?
Insane. He is now the famous TikTok pitcher of the family. So every time people come up to me, are you related to the family? Related to the TikTok pitcher I see on the Bananas? And it's insane. It's everywhere we go. It's, hey, you know the Bananas guy? You know the Bananas? You know the Bananas? It's nuts.
You technically have association with a member of the Banana Ball royal family.
Who would that be? My brother, but yeah. Bill,
Who would the royal family is?
Bill's that king, but
we like to call him the twin princes of Banana.
It is insane to think of him as the royalty in Banana Ball. It's nuts. It's never would have dreamed it. 6 years ago, just going to the ballpark in historic Grayson Stadium, and just turning his career into just now the most fun version of baseball, in my opinion.
So you're 4 years older than Kyle. You grew up predominantly in Texas, and Kyle kind of spent most of his youth in the Richmond Hill area, just outside of Savannah, where you guys went to high school. I mean, how wild was that switch up from you guys going from the Lone Star State to, the edge of the Eastern Seaboard?
Georgia has been a great place for my family. I love Savannah. Savannah's just one of the most beautiful places in the world, and it's been honestly probably the best place for Kyle. It's his home. Texas really is where he's born, but his home is really probably in Savannah, Georgia.
Can take the Lewigs out of Texas, can't take the Rangers fan out of him.
Here we go.
Vincent Chapman throws away all of his belongings, dusts off the plate, and shakes his body at a pace that I think might even be a record for him. This is
Lord,
just,
she's shaking them cheeks.
yeah, it's some furious boogieing here.
Ready to run through a brick wall.
Yeah, he is animated. I don't think I've ever seen such fire coursing through his veins.
I think that's the furthest mask launch of the season for Vince. Is Kyle Lewis
Kyle's
is
have to
going
go
to
grab
leave
it.
the mound to hand it back to him.
Yeah. What a nice guy.
Now, how bizarre has it been as Kyle's got 5, 6, 7 in the Party Animals lineup here? Cornette, Thomas, and Acuff. Dalton reached on a one-base sprint, came around to score in the second inning. Gets the half night off after catching an evening ago. How bizarre has it been to see Kyle's transformation, not just as a baseball player in Banana Land, as DC3 serves that out to left center, and Michael Dean tries to make a barehanded catch on the run. He comes up empty. He's now 3 for 5 in trick play attempts.
Went for the skill points there.
Yeah, that's a fact. And Cornette will thank him as he gets 2 bases on the trick play missed.
That's a very unfortunate trick play miss for Michael Deeb. He started the season 3 for 3, but now in his last 2 trick play attempts has been unable to come up with the snag.
Now Joe, check that. Tanner Thomas with the 2-run homer off Kyle will swing it, and he lines that one to center.
There we
DR
go.
gets it coming in. That's a big first out. What I was saying is, how crazy has it been not just to see Kyle's evolution as a baseball player, but as a dancer?
He could probably go on Dancing with the Stars now. It's incredible what the Bananas organization has done to make my brother into a choreographed dancer. He's never been a good dancer in his life. So just to see him on the mound, just dancing to Taylor Swift, not too long ago, it was incredible.
Now Chase Acuff, Party Animal shortstop, will foul the first pitch out of the stadium, uncatchable by fans.
Left my glove down there.
You brought the glove.
It's down there.
Yeah.
I'm ready to catch the ball. It's banana ball. You have to have your glove ready.
I love it.
I mean, I think Kyle would expect nothing less but your support for the sake of his earned run average.
Yes, of course. We have to save as many runs for Kyle as possible, if that means us catching it.
Now, with Kyle being 4 years younger than you, did you guys grow up as pretty competitive brothers? Bill on the run, throw to third.
No, what a throw.
In time!
They gave it to him. Nice throw, Bill.
Reggie Liggins says that Cornette was tagged out by Jackson Olsen, and that eliminates the man who reached on the trick play missed.
What an unbelievable play by Bill Leroy, going after that ball and throwing off center down to Jackson Olsen. And give him credit, a great tag applied to get Cornette.
You saw the replay there. Looked like DC3 got the foot in ahead of the tag, but it was a superb
Long pitch here.
play by Leroy either way. And good call, Jake. Your brother just misses the outside corner with a pitch from about 100 feet from the plate.
Still working on it.
I mean, that looked pretty darn good. He's going to start the clap.
He needs the people.
Full capacity, Chickasaw, Bricktown Ballpark.
Up in the garage, we need you.
It's a fact. It's like a couple hundred people in the parking garage. Got free tickets to the ball game or whatever it costs to get your car in there. Check swing, did Acuff go? No, says Randy Voss down the first base line. And the count full on the Party Animal shortstop who flew out to center his first time. And he's able to hang with the slider. Acuff, a tough guy to K. Only 9 strikeouts compared to 7 sprints. This is his 29th game of the tour.
Oh.
And a hot shot up the middle. It's going to be a 2-out knock as DR Meadows thought about trying to throw it over to first. EJ wasn't even covering the bag. So with Kyle 4 years behind you, did you guys grow up being competitive in any kind of competition? Or
Whether it was basketball, baseball, whatever sport we made up. Growing up in Mansfield, we had a little home run derby growing up, just who could hit the most home runs in our backyard because it was shaped perfectly like a baseball diamond. So we worked on our pitching, our hitting, everything growing up. We were made to play baseball.
yeah. It's cool to hear as Swanee chops it up the middle. Cox diving stop. Doesn't get the ball out of his mitt in time to try and grab the force out. So it'll be an infield single for Swanee. There's now 1 for 2 on the night.
was kind of hoping y'all were going to leave the mic on for Kyle so I could just, communicate with him and tell him what to throw.
Right.
That would have been real fun.
Looks like it's yoga time here in the capital of the Sooner State. As Breland Almadova going full namaste up to the box, and his teammates all following his lead. He'll take a strike.
It's yoga time.
Well, he does whatever that pose is. Yeah, we're still cooking it up in the booth as well. Bats backwards here. Kyle's joining in on the fun. And Breland will take an 0-2 count.
Give me more yoga time, Kyle.
All right.
I can hit the banana ball.
I feel it.
Can hit the banana ball.
It's a good mantra as Breland fouls off the 0-2 offering. Looks like all of his teammates still waiting for a new move, but yeah, he's going to be on one leg. Hovering.
This is impressive.
Just waiting for the left foot to drop.
Would have fell by now.
And he ends up hitting a front door bender. Foul territory, Eric Jones. Next to all the party animals makes the catch.
There we go.
And the calming experience is over.
I feel better now.
Feel good?
I feel a lot better.
Chakra is aligned.
What's going on in the chat? Thank you for everybody in the chat.
All right.
Yeah, Kyle used to be a really, really scrawny, sickly kid, actually. Asthma. Often got the flu, but he is now just turned into this masculine, just dominant TikTok pitching superstar sensation.
Yeah, he's turned into a titan of a man.
Probably on the HTH, but I haven't, no proven facts yet, but.
Well, luckily there's no testing in Banana Land.
No testing. You hear that, MLB? No testing here in Banana Land. We love dingers.
Guys are allowed to break in to the old glass cabinet at the supplement store. It's shocking, though, to hear that Kyle was undersized, skinny, and often sick as a kid. When you see a guy who I don't think I've seen sick in my 4 years as broadcasting.
Well, he's not taking PTO.
That's a fact. No, he's banking those days. Luckily, we get unlimited PTO in Banana Land, so it's really nothing to bank.
There you go.
Now, what were you thinking when Kyle told you that after 4 years of playing college ball during the summer in Savannah, that he was going to turn it into his first full-time job out in the real world?
Fully supported him. First off, just, as his brother, just, you got to be there for him no matter what. But taking baseball and turning it into a more fun way, like that's a big leap of faith of y'all and him to, be a part of that and just, want to take this onto the road. It blew up in Savannah, obviously, the Savannah faithful back home, they know the story about how everything happened, but just now how everything's just gone, it's couldn't imagine.
Yeah, this is the 8th year of the Savannah Bananas. Your brother has been a part of the team for 6 years. It's pretty mind-boggling.
Was that 2016, 2017?
2016 and 2017, the only time a Lewis was not
Old
involved.
historic Grayson. That's one of my favorite ballparks to go watch him play. I get jacked up every time he's pitching that night. We make sure we get there early, get rowdy, and make sure we got his back. So we're in Oklahoma City, and we're doing the same thing. It's insane.
And you've seen his teammate for the past 5 years do a whole lot of that, Dan Oberst. First
Love
pitch
Dan.
in the bottom of the 4th with a base knock.
Love Dan. Great home run derby earlier by Dan. Was hitting bombs earlier.
Was able to take down Jake Skoll for only the 3rd time on the tour out of 7 battles that they've had. Now Dakota McFadden will swing it. RBI double his first time, was pinch run for after that. Delano ahead 0-1 on the Bananas DH.
Yeah, but D-Mac seeing the ball very well against Delano. You talked about the double early in this ball game, but in Las Vegas, he took a Garrett Delano pitch deep to left field. Actually, McFadden has hit a home run in every series here in the month of May.
Wow.
That streak is on the line here tonight.
Well, we got plenty of time. We got plenty of time. I need to know, is Garrett's shorts getting shorter every start?
It's a good question. I saw Becky in the K Club chat earlier saying that the shorts are just all-time good here tonight.
Looking good out there, Garrett, though. Delano's a good pitcher. He's tough to face.
Yeah, he's nasty.
I love going to the ballpark, and it's Kyle versus Delano. It's usually a good matchup.
Fastball in the low 90s. It'll be straight. It'll cut in at you. It'll cut away from you. Doesn't matter which side of the plate you're hitting at. I think that's the toughest part. And then he mixes in the changeup and curveball to boot. It's pretty vicious arsenal. For the four-year man out of Brown University who finished up at Mercer.
Ooh. Good stuff, Dan.
With Dan getting back to the bag, I mean, how cool was it to see Dan, Bill, Kyle, Dearman, Ryan Kennedy, all of those veterans in their third and fourth years in Savannah finally get that Coastal Plain League championship in 2021?
It was sweet. I was there for that. It was a fun night, a lot of champagne, great party downtown Savannah. A lot of unsold stories there. We'll leave those to rest.
Oh, Dakota McFadden!
We got the streak going?
Deep to left!
The streak stays alive! It stays alive!
D-Mac with homers in each series here in the month of May. That's his 7th long ball of the tour and his season-leading 13th walk-off.
What a stud. Look at the Congo line on the way in. I love it.
Whole team joining in on the celebration for the final 90 feet of the trot.
So do we get, how many runs? 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we get all those runs?
You get 1 point.
Okay. Just making sure.
And you'll be happy for it. The Inners lead 3-1. 4 innings into this ball game. And what a celebration is you get another look at the dinger from D-Mac. What a shot. All right, before we free you, because we want to get you back to your hundreds of family members and friends, but Jake, could you do us the honor of spinning the wheel of unfortunate here tonight?
Is there a Stars victory on here?
Yeah, I'm sure you can find one.
I need a Dallas Stars victory tonight.
Just 3 games to go, man.
I feel like I'm on Wheel of Fortune right now.
Oh!
That's for the chat.
That's for the chat.
That is for the chat. That's for the people.
5 gift members. Good stuff, Jake. Okay, let's see what Josh and I get. It's going to be trade voices. So Josh and I have to trade voices for a batter. What do you got, Josh?
Sounds good, Big Tiger.
Well, Biko, I think you have to talk like a medieval Biko now.
Glorious.
This shall be royally hard to do, Mr. Talebski.
Jake Lewis, now I'm talking like a medieval person. Thank you so much for coming up to Modest Hovel.
Love Banana Nation. Love everybody here. Love Biko. Love Josh. Thank y'all for having me.
You have graced our castle well.
I'm so glad I don't have to do this. I'm so glad for the subs. Everybody, have a good night. Let's go Danners.
Jake, have fun out there, Big Tiger. There goes Kyle's older brother. Really good stuff with the 12 family and friends that the Lewis clan has brought over from the Dallas area, about 3 hours away from us.
I must say, Squire, I do not feel that you are doing a good impression of the young lad who is your broadcasting partner.
That's a jump throw from Dion. It's a wild one, and head first diving into the base. It's going to be Destin Baber. I'm confused at the order of operations on our Wheel of Unfortunate because we traded voices, but then you got medieval, so maybe I'm medieval.
Well, the bat's over now, so you've got your freedom here now.
Thanks, dude. Baber's now 2 for 2 on the tour in his attempts at stealing first. It's actually his only successful steals of any base on the tour. He was caught when he tried to swipe second. all the way back within the first couple of weeks of this whole shebang.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. The PEMDAS of this is really confusing.
We have conflicting spins on the Wheel of Unfortunate. Jake Lewigs had no conflicts with giving out 5 gift memberships, though. He's a man of the people. To the top of the order we go for the Party Animals. Jake's younger brother out on the bump for his 5th frame tonight. That ball cranked foul. Still a 2-2 count on the switch-hitting center fielder Reese Hampton, who's grounded out to third and second, although both of them were to the first base side of second. Jackson Olsen pretty much playing right up the middle, just barely on the other side of the bag as Hampton fouls that one off, just barely stays alive.
Now, if I had to dive into the numbers, statistically speaking, I believe the Lewigs brothers have combined for 10 gift memberships.
At least. I mean, I know Kyle has spun it once as that ball is blasted to right center. Noah Bridges, full extension dive, can't grab it. Barehanded by D.R. Meadows, and it's going to be a booming stand-up double for Reese Hampton. He extends his hitting streak to a banana ball all-time high of 21 games, and he has his tour-leading 14th two-bagger.
It's unbelievable. Reese Hampton has had at least 1 extra base hit in 7 of his last 8 games now.
That might be crazier than his 21-game hitting streak. Joe Lytle smashes it down the right field line. If it's fair, it's gone. It's foul. Oh, the hometown kid who spent all 4 years of his college career from 2015 through 2018 at Oklahoma City University right down the road from Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark. Nearly just left the premises and fouls that one that clings off the hands of a fan. Joe 0 for 1 on the day. A ground out and an RBI sprint. Lines that one through the left side. On a couple hops, it gets to the outfield. Michael Deeb will send it in. Hampton goes station to station as Leroy grabs the one hopper from left. Lytle's second stake of the night, 24th of the tour. Party Animals lead the 5th 1-0.
That gives Lytle 7 runs batted in his last 4 games. There's a reason the Party Animals are beginning to bat him at the top of the order.
And he's now 4 for 7 with that one base sprint I just mentioned. So on base 5 out of 8 times. Here in Oklahoma City is Sean Fluke doing his best Will Ferrell impersonation. Wants more cowbell and is going to slam it in the right-handed batter's box before retreating back a little bit towards his dugout. It's Blue Oyster Cult blares throughout our full capacity stadium tonight. Josh, do you fear the Reaper?
Only sometimes.
I gotta be honest, I always fear the Reaper.
Ow! That's just my Christopher Walken impression.
10 out of 10. Lytle takes off for second. That ball flipped down the left field line. Foul. Joe's 5 for 5 in his stolen base attempts. Hadn't tried to swipe a bag since March 2nd until he stole second base back in the 3rd inning tonight. All of a sudden, he's got the taste for steals again.
He's got a fever, and the only prescription is more stolen bases.
A little combo of Sean McDonough with Christopher Walken there. Felt like Michigan State was taking back a ball into the end zone there to win a thriller with the clock winding down. That's going to be ball 4. Hampton scores easily from 3rd. Lytle is going to get a stop sign, and Skoll slams the brakes at first base. Content with his 31st run batted into the tour, 2 behind Bryson Bloomer for the season high. As Hampton scores for a tour-topping 43rd time on the season. To the cleanup spot we go. The Boomer ahead 1-0. Third baseman for the Party Animals with a fly out and strikeout tonight. In his tries at swiping bags on the tour. And a nice front door slider from Kyle. Count 2-1. Skoll's off on the pitch. He'll have to retreat as we get a 2-2 pitch coming. Murphy J also has a fever. The only prescription being more cowbell as Kyle goes back to the slider, gets Bloomer swinging. And all the Bananas coming in towards the mound here. And now they're going to head back to their spots. Looks like they may have been thinking about a strikeout celebration. And reversed course. Bloomer has been both strikeout victims of Kyle's tonight. Only 2 on the evening for the Cowboy. That one rolled over to first. Eric Jones thinks about going home with it, won't have a chance as he'll tag out Cornett for the second out of the inning as the Party Animals score their 3rd run.
It was a smart play by Eric Jones. You like the effort trying to go home and get that out, but of course playing it safe and getting Cornett. Now 2 outs, all Kyle has to do is retire Tanner Thomas to get out of this inning.
Skoll off of second. And Tanner, who homered off Kyle back into second, lined out to center in the 4th. Boogieing in the box. Count 1-1. Don't let that 86 OPS plus from Tanner fool you. It's only 4 points below 300 in batting average. He's got 3 homers, a triple, and 4 doubles. He's certainly been producing for the Party Animals, a stalwart in the middle of the order.
Yeah, and we're finally seeing more extra base hits from Tanner Thomas. It was not until, Tanner had 2 doubles in Game 2 of Las Vegas. Those were his first extra base hits since the Montgomery series at the end of March.
How about that? Nearly 2 full months. One-two coming. And he takes, looked like might have been a rare splitter from Kyle. Has a ball to even it up at 2-2. Peter just misses the low inside corner. Count runs full. There's a backdoor bender that Tanner hit out back in the 2nd inning. Kyle goes to the fastball here, and we'll do it again. Judy Littlejohn in the chat says, I love this so much. Happy you're having fun, Judy. Thank you to everybody watching here on a Saturday night. Banana ball from the Central Time Zone. And the 405 has treated us awful well these past couple nights. Another payoff pitch. 8th offering of the at-bat. It's a hot shot under the diving attempt of Danny Hosley. Skoll scores easily from 3rd. It's a 4-run, top of the 5th inning for the Party Animals, who are still going.
And that was a great battle from Tanner Thomas. He's now got 3 runs batted in this ball game. And Tanner took Kyle 8 pitches before getting that single to right field.
He's up to 29 ribeyes on the tour. That goes back to my original point of not letting a below average OPS plus fool you to how valuable Mr. Tinder Thomas has been on this tour. It's the 3rd most RBIs overall. Hosley will flip it to Ryan Cox, and that will end it as Acuff grounds out. But 8 Party Animals come to the dish. Half of them score, and 1 stranded. As they do it on 3 hits, 1 ball for sprint, and 1 steal of first base. Take a look at how this has shaken out by the inning tonight. Bananas won the first 1-0. Big come from behind win in the second, 3-2. Party Animals got their first point in the third. Nanners fought back in the fourth, and that fifth inning lies to you. It is 4 runs for the Party Animals here in the top of the fifth.
Well, even if that was Kyle Lewig's last inning in this ball game, with the Bananas up 3-1 at the moment, Kyle Lewig still in line for what could be his very first win against the Party Animals on the tour this season.
I'll tell you what he has locked up a win on tonight. Our YouTube poll, in which Kyle got 69% of the vote. Very nice. In the Who is the Cooler Cowboy? Kyle Lewis or Garrett Delano? Garrett got 30%. I don't know where the missing 1% went. Maybe it was for you, Josh.
I think it was for Chad Reese.
He's the coolest cowboy in my book. Jackson Olsen, first pitch swinging in the bottom of the 8th. Check that, bottom of the 5th. I'm just getting ahead of myself here as we approach the 46-minute mark at the true halfway point as far as innings go. And Jackson, who struck out swinging his first time. Good start for the Nanners, as Ryan Cox takes that a hair below the knees, according to Vincent Chapman. Looked pretty good to me. Cox popped out to his counterpart at short his first time. That one rolled over to the right side. Baber between the legs, 360 throw to first. A terrific trick play from Derek Ginger. He's now 31 for 33 on his attempts on the tour.
And after having that trick play streak snapped last night, it was 6 consecutive games. Dustin Baber with great feel, knowing Ryan Cox got out of the box a little slow there and had time to get tricky and make that throw onto first base.
It's a trick play prince taking care of the king of trick plays on the tour. 59 for Coxie, 31 for Baber. It's number 1 and 2 in that department. With Bryson Bloomer kind of becoming a distant third at 17. Actually, he's been passed by D.R. Meadows, who was in third place at 18. Pair of 2018 Bananas square off. Delano against Leroy. Back pick behind Jackson Olsen, who kicks that, looks like off the chest of Acuff and over to Baber at second. 2-0 count on the Bananas backstop, who singled and scored back in the second inning. It was the inning-winning run at that, as Maceo Harrison doing his coaching of third base here in the bottom of the 5th and thrilling the fans over on the third base side. It's where the majority of our folks are here in Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark. Over 10,000 now that it is fully filled in. That one on a hop, backhanded by Acuff. He'll go across the diamond, and Swan not able to make the pick. Jackson's going to score from second on the play. And what do you rule that, Josh? That's a tough one.
There's an error of some sort on this, and to be honest, I think it's on Jason Swan.
Wow. It's tough because can you ever assume a pick? I feel like you can't.
It was a great throw from Chase Acuff.
Yeah, but on a hop? This is a controversial play here. Either way, the Nanners a fourth of the way to tying the inning. Danny Hosley in the 9-hole, ahead 1-0. He had a walk-off two-base sprint in the second.
You know what? Let's throw our fans a bone here. Let's get a YouTube poll going. Let the fans vote who the error's on.
It's a fact. I love it.
The fans get to make the scoring decision here. It's
Beautiful.
Swan or Acuff.
Fans first. Let us know in the chat. If you talk to Jason Swan, he would say it's on him, as Danny Hosley turns on that. Breland in left there to snag the liner for the second out of the frame. But I think if you talked to a Major League Baseball official scorer, he would say the error is on Acuff. Anyhow, here's Jesse Cole.
Tallest hitter. Dakota Stilts Albritton.
Well, after getting it out last night on the bump, Stilts will try his luck with a bat in his hand. He has to pass the baton off to D.R. Meadows at the top of the order if the Bananas want to tie this inning, as the first pitch is wild. Delano trying to get a strike there to the 10'9" Stilts as Lytle throws it through to second. Baber and Acuff didn't move a muscle as far as covering the bag. And that is going to be only the third error on the tour for Joe Lytle, who is apoplectic about his middle infielders not deciding either of them should have been at second base. And now Baber's going to leave his position to hop on the back of Delano. And it just misses the inside corner. Baber furious at the call from Vincent Chapman. That ball on, 2 hops. Bryson Bloomer over at third. We'll toss it over to Swanee in time, and the Party Animals win the 5th inning 4-1. The impromptu elevated Stilts for the Party Animals. Baber and Delano combine to do the job. Dakota Albritton now 4 for 13 on the tour. Here comes Matt Wolf.
Rodeo Clown. He's also a full-time Oklahoma City firefighter, Matt Wolf.
Matt Wolf with one of the engines from his station just down the road here in Oklahoma City, driving by the ballpark, right up Mickey Mantle Drive, now going through Flaming Lips Alley. Wolfie takes the bump. The MPI of 3 minutes and 57 seconds. Averages 5th best on the tour and 2nd best on the Bananas. As you get a look at the fire truck once again. Oklahoma City Fire Department has been awful gracious with his schedule so that he can get to about 60% of our games here on this tour. He's been flying from all parts of the country to get back and forth from here and there, back to the big friendly. And Wolf, originally out of Joy, Oklahoma, about an hour south of us here in OKC. Right at home. Said between him and Gillum, we probably know more than 3,000 of the fans here both these nights in Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark.
And you know, for as special as it was for Matt Wolf to get into yesterday's game, get the start at second base and take an AB, he is so excited to bring some of his trick pitches out here in front of the OKC fans.
And 2 minutes into our YouTube poll, Jason Swan has the unfortunate honor of garnering 69% of the vote. Very nice. As far as percentages go, not for Swanee, who picks up his first error on the tour. But he's certainly not down in the dumps for long. 2 for 3 on the night, as the man in the 8-hole for the Party Animals has his 2nd single of the evening. Good piece of hitting at that.
And not only that, that's Jason Swan's 2nd multi-hit game in his last 3 games, and he hadn't had a multi-hit game before that since March the 4th in Jacksonville, Florida.
In his hometown, kid from the south side. Over on first base with 1 away. Breland behind 0-1. Wolf gets him with the 360, nice backhanded stop by Mr. Leroy. Dings the Stylin Hawaiian on the helmet with the ball. That's his thanks for trying to help him snag that yellow banana ball. Breland 1 for 2 on the night, a single and a run scored back in the third inning, and then popped out in foul territory to EJ over at first.
And despite holding down the 9-hole for the Party Animals tonight, I'm not sure there's anyone swinging a better bat than Breland Almodovar. He had his first 3-hit game of the season in Game 2 in Vegas, and then followed it up last night with a 2-hit Game 1 and his first banana ball career home run.
He's been feeling himself here in the Sooner State. 13th stop of our tour, 20th all-time for banana ball as Jason Swan steals second base before Matt Wolf even throws the ball home. I think that's the first time we've ever seen that in banana ball history, and now Swanee has to go back to the bag because it was a foul ball.
What an unfortunate situation there. Matt Wolf doing a little Houdini act out there. Who knew where that ball was?
Got a poll in the K-Club chat. Should Biko and Josh create a poll for the K-Club? It's 3-0, yes. It's gonna be a sprint for Breland as Swanee will make it to the other side of the diamond, and Breland content with one base. The Bananas sprint defense has been keeping pretty much everybody besides Skoll and Hampton off of second. But a tough spot for the Oklahoman on the bump. Men on the corners with nobody out.
Now, this K-Club poll feels like an attack.
You feel like you're the target?
Perhaps. And, you know, it might be rightfully so.
Oh, we love our folks in the K-Club. The biggest banana fans in all the land.
No doubt.
That puppy will open back up in October. Well, the inaugural class will always be the inaugural class, getting first shot at all tickets for the 2024 tour. Really a nice snag on a ricochet there. Baber 0 for 1 on the night, a pop out and a steal of first base, as well as a run scored. Lines that one to right center. DR's got a beat on it, makes the snag. Swan tagging from third, the throw home on a hop, just barely late. The 5-year man out of Georgia Southern beats the wrap, and the Party Animals have pushed a run across for the 4th time in 6 innings tonight. They still trail by a point, but lead the 6th, 1 run to zip. As you get another look at the howitzer from DR. It was a Trey Turner-esque slide from Swanee. Smooth as silk.
Would you expect anything less from a man who rocks a fur coat most games?
No, not in the slightest. Babes picks up his 15th run batted in. Swanee his 13th scored. As we go to the top of the order, Reese Hampton 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored. Extended his all-time banana ball hit streak to 21 games. Mind-boggling stuff for the Charlotte kid playing in his 30th game of the tour. Played all 12 last year for the Bananas. And the count even at 2-2 on the switch hitting center fielder.
Sing it, lady, sing it.
That ball a mile high and snagged by DR out in right center. Breland's going to try and tag for second. Hosley there to cover the bag, converging with Ryan Cox. Head first slide just in time for the Stylin' Hawaiian, who's shaken up a little bit, I think, by the tag from Hosley. Take another look at it. Everybody okay? No, it was a kick to the head from Ryan Cox. You don't see that every night at the ballpark.
It's a good thing he kept his helmet on.
How about the howl in pain from Breland as he looked back at his main suspect. Still has his keister on the dirt as Joe Lytle serves that into shallow right. Breland being waved around third by Vava. Throw from Noah Bridges is up the third base line. Bills return to second, not in time. Heads up base running from Lytle, as Joe has been at the top of his game back in his home city. Now 2 for 3 tonight. and 5 for 8 in this 2-game series. Picks up his 3rd RBI of the evening, 25th of the tour. Jake Skoll serves that down the left field line, barely foul. And how about the tag from first to second from Breland? It's the only reason why he ever had a chance in the world at scoring on the Lytle single.
I mean, Breland plays the game with such aggression. You saw it again last night. The inning is on the line in the 5th. Michael Deeb hits a ball to the opposite field, and what does Breland do? He catches it between his legs and keeps Deeb from walking off the inning.
There's nobody like him. That ball a mile high and into foul territory. Clangs off the MLB Network sign. Good to see my former employers in the building. Getting peppered by Jake Skoll, former first-round draft pick back in 2010 by the Texas Rangers. Spent 7 years in minor league baseball. 5 in the Rangers organization, 2 with the New York Yankees. 4 years at the University of Georgia playing football after that. And a backdoor bender for Matt Wolf. Vincent Chapman is going to say it grazed the outside corner. Jake disagrees. But unfortunately for him, Chapman has the final say. Jake now 0 for 3 on the night with an RBI sprint and a run scored. 2 runs for the Party Animals in the top of the 6th, who are looking to try and tie this ball game at 3 points apiece. As you take a look at the resume from Matt Wolf, and as I mentioned when he came in, born and raised about an hour south of here in Joy, Oklahoma on a ranch. Serves as a firefighter and an EMT man here in Oklahoma City. And he is the 5th of his name, Matt Wolf the 5th. Well, even though, as the graphic says, he's the 4th Matt Wolf in his family. That's because a few generations back, it's his great-great-grandfather was not named Matt Wolf, but they still call Matt Wolf the 5th, even though he's technically the 4th. It's just some weird Oklahoma stuff.
The lineage here is quite confusing.
Guy out of North Central Texas College, then Southeastern Oklahoma State University, finished up at East Central with Tyler Gillum as one of his coaches in his first year at East Central, now as head coach with the Bananas, as Brett Helton takes over for Garrett Delano. Helton, as you can see, 3 minutes and 9 seconds per inning toss. That is by far the best average on the tour.
It's unbelievable, and really his strategy is pitch to contact. As you can see, just 13 strikeouts across 27 and 2/3 innings. He wants the Bananas to put it in play, and he trusts his defense to get the outs and get him out of innings quickly. So far, it's paid off.
And the bottom of the graphic does not lie to you. He owns Happy Tap, which is in the Colorado Springs area. Indeed, an owner of a bar in Colorado. Very successful one at that. Still trying to get some merch. One day I'll make a visit to Colorado Springs.
And Brett's told us that the bar has really tried to take on the fans first mentality as well.
I love that. DR now 2 for 3 on the night, singles in each of his last 2 trips to the dish. And that'll bring the innings tying run up to the plate in the form of our home run leader on the tour, Mr. Eric Jones, former Minnesota Twins and Seattle Mariners minor leaguer. Was the Mariners bullpen catcher last summer. And his addition to the coaching staff directly correlates to the Mariners becoming the best bullpen in baseball and going on that magical run all the way through the wild card game, putting up a dynamite fight against the Houston Astros in the ALDS. EJ will footloose his way up to the dish with the help of all his teammates behind him as backup dancers. Now with an 0-1 pitch coming, Brett Helton is going to bring in Baber, Acuff, and Hampton for a little 6-2-2 dance. Boys in sync. You'll see this on the Party Animals TikTok in the near future. As long as they continue to nail the dance and the pitch just a tad high. 1-1 on EJ.
Brett Helton with a little bow and arrow there at the end.
I like that a lot. Jesse Cole nearly nailed by that foul ball. EJ sending that one right towards the man in the yellow tux. Helton checks on Meadows, who is not fooled by Swanee's feint at the ball going all the way back to the netting. DR with a modest lead still. And a cut and a foul tip into the mid of Joe Lytle. Nasty bender from Brett Helton as he gets his first out here in the bottom of the 6th.
Eric Jones, how about this? 2 strikeouts tonight. Entering the month of May, he only had 1.
That's banana ball for you. Helton gets him with what looked like a curveball. He'll add a changeup, cutter, and fastball to the mix. Gets the heater up to about 93. Colorado Springs native. Going after the former Chicago White Sox product, who bounces it to third. Bloomer only has 1 play. It's at first. Jason Swan applies the tag to Vitamin D. And the Bananas down to their final out here in the 6th inning. The new man to represent this frames tying run is Dan Oberst. He's 1 for 2 on the night. Single and a couple runs scored.
Yeah, but Dan is a man with the potential to tie this inning with just 1 swing. And you got to feel good after he won the home run derby earlier tonight to make the Bananas the home team.
His bat is shattered. He jogs out of the box as Dustin Baber breaks out a new trick play behind the back on the jump. Jason Swan taps first base with the ball. And the Party Animals have won the last 2 innings. They've tied the game at 3 points each. As we've got a little more than 25 minutes on the clock and 3 innings to go. You get another look at the Hosley trick play all the way back from the 1st inning, and the Ryan Cox trick play that was carry the 1. Oh, 1 play after that. A little trickery from Baber. We honor all the service members in attendance tonight, both past and present, and send that sentiment to everybody watching at home as well. Jesse Cole and company out shaking hands, giving hugs. And we'll pop up to the broadcast booth because myself being Biko Scala, my partner being Josh Talevsky, and our good friend Carson Bowen joining us in the booth with a present.
I do have a present for you, Biko. You've been clamoring for some food up here in the broadcast booth. I've kind of made it my calling card, I guess, to bring some food up here. But feast your eyes upon this from Smokey's Sausage Shack. My man Ali hooks it up. I told him to give me his best looking dog. Hold on. Give it one more.
Whoa.
You blocked it. Folks, this is sausage and peppers and a foot longer smoked sausage.
This thing is a behemoth.
This is delightful. Josh?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Would you like to go from the Biko side?
Yeah, I don't discriminate at all.
Get in there. Get in there.
Mm-hmm. Whoa.
All right, Biko, through your chews. On a scale of 1 to 12, what do you think?
13.
15. Cool.
They're dropping onions all over the...
Oh, baby.
Now my onion ratio is a little too heavy to my sausage, but that's okay. It's a sweet sausage. It's delicious.
The onions are sealing the deal for me.
Mm-hmm. By the way, as the slowest chewer on either side of the Mississippi tries to break into this sausage and Carson drops 2 more onions onto the ground, I just can't put them in my mouth. I'll never talk. I'm just putting them back in our little casing here. Connor Higgins, the new man on the mound. We're all locked up at 3 points apiece in the top of the 7th, middle of the order. for the Party Animals, Bloomer, Cornett, and Thomas. And it is Hoka giveaway inning. So in the chat, there's a link that's been sent. In the description of the video, there's a link you can click. You want to fill out all the information there. The buzzword tonight is Sooners. 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 Do you approve, Carson?
We are in Oklahoma, after all. It was either Boomer or Sooner. Do you know the history behind Boomer Sooner?
Oh, I've got it all. Payoff pitch from Higgins. Hard-throwing lefty, fresh off 5 years in the Los Angeles Angels organization, drafted in the 30th round in 2018 out of Arizona State. Was taken by the Rangers in the 35th round the year before. Decided to stay another year as a Sun Devil, as Ryan Cox only had one error since March 18th in Sugar Land coming into the game. For the second time tonight, throws a ball into the Party Animals dugout. Bloomer is now 1 for 4 on the evening, and he gets an extra base on the E6. Dalton Cornett with a 1-0 count on him. Party Animals DH. 0 for 2, RBI ground out, a one-base sprint, and a run scored. So the Boomers, when Oklahoma came about...
Before we get too far, is it plural for the buzzword or a singular Sooner?
Plural Sooners. You need
Sooners.
the S on it. Sooners. Not sooner, Sooners.
Understood.
That's a good discrepancy that you ironed out there, as Higgins gives up a sprint on 4 pitches. Bloomer jogs around third and scores. That'll be an unearned run on the hard-throwing southpaw out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. And the Party Animals, who have won each of the last 2 innings, have now scored a run in 3 straight. As Cornett picks up his second ribeye of the evening, his 28th on the tour. Tanner Thomas at the dish. 0-1 count on the Party Animals extra hitter. 2 for 3 on the night. 2-run bomb, RBI single. And now 1-1 as it's lefty to lefty. So the Boomers are the people who waited for the boom, the cannon shot to go off before they went and tried to claim their land in Oklahoma. The Sooners are the ones who snuck past that first line. They kind of got out there before the government had told the world that it was kosher to try and grab some land, and they just popped down, built some fences, and said, this is my place.
Rapscallions.
How about that?
Should have been Boomers and Rapscallions.
Really rolls off the tongue. I think that's factually correct.
That's a page out of my book.
A little history lesson here on Bananas TV is Higgins gives up a sprint for the second straight hitter. Nanners are having trouble with the sprint defense. They finally get it to the outfielders as Tanner Thomas has 2 bases. Cornett over the third, 1 run already home in the top of the 7th, and still nobody out.
So he's a new addition to the Bananas. How is he settling in here?
The stuff is immaculate. Pretty much fastball slider, works on a changeup. That is a huge first out he just got, with Hosley getting the pop out from Chase Acuff, who's 1 for 4 on the night. But as you've seen here in the top of the 7th, control has been Connor's bugaboo early on here in his Bananas career. Comes in tonight, his 7th appearance. 6 full innings in the books. He's given up 6 runs on 8 hits, 2 hit batters, 5 sprints. But this is a guy who just a couple summers ago was in AAA for the Angels and was a guy hot on a lot of lists to be called up in September until he had a devastating injury that set him back, and just trying to find that pre-injury form. Pitched in the Australian Baseball League this past winter. Was the closer for the Perth Heat. Fastball in Kansas City in his Bananas debut was 94 to 97 miles per hour. As Jason Swan barrels that to dead center. DR on his horse, throws off the cowboy hat and makes a nice running snag. Cornette tags and scores easily from third. Here's Jesse Cole.
Coming to pitch, former World Series pitcher, former Major League All-Star, 6-year veteran in the U.S. Army, and Red Sox Hall of Famer. Please welcome, 76 years young, Bill the Spaceman Lee!
How about the raucous applause for the Red Sox Hall of Famer, Mr. Bill Lee, who had no trouble getting a deep fly out to left an evening ago. And looks like he's just wearing whatever hat he wants nowadays.
That's our spaceman. That's our guy.
Well, we saw him go Red Sox hat last night. Now he's going to go with one of the Bananas alternates. It's really just Bill's world.
And we're all living in it. We go from mid to high 90s off the bump to a guy who is enthused if he can throw it as fast as his 76-year-old age. He did touch 78 last year in Kansas City. So he's proven he can do it. Comes in with 2 down, 2 runs already in here in the top of the 7th inning. Tanner Thomas joining in the fun, imitating Bill's warm-up pitches out on second base. And Breland will swing away. 1 for 2 on the night is the Party Animals left fielder. A couple runs scored. A single and a sprint. And he's going to turn around and hit it from the left side. Not naturally a switch hitter. You certainly wouldn't choose to go lefty to lefty if you had the choice. But ever the showman. And a Gatorade State Player of the Year, both in football and baseball, his senior campaign in Hawaii. So he's certainly the athlete who can pull such a feat off. That was a healthy cut, 2-1 count on him.
And he's got the confidence to not only turn around the helmet Larry Walker in the 93 All-Star Game style, but call his shot off of Bill Lee.
2-2 coming. Legend to legend. Tanner takes off, and that one misses just a bit inside. It actually hits Breland, but with a lack of an attempt at evading the pitch, we're going to say that it's just a ball, and Tanner gets to steal third base. Bounced up the middle. Single for Breland. Swinging it lefty. And 3 runs now home for the Party Animals. All of them charged to Higgins. Only 1 of them earned. To the 10 hole we go. Dustin Baber pops it up behind the dish. Fan could make a play. It goes out of our sight and not caught. Vincent Chapman says it was bobbled. It's got to be a clean catch. Be tough to sort through all the mayhem of tip drill bobble catches if that was a possibility. Dustin Baber winds up and smacks a medium depth fly ball to left. Deeb there to put it away. And Bill Lee gives up a run not of his own. It was Ryan Higgins. And the Nanners have their work cut out for them here in the bottom of the 7th. They trail the inning by 3. As we've got 13 minutes and change on our clock. And Jesse will tell the full capacity Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark that it's time to light up the night. It's our unique 7th inning stretch. Oklahoma City's turning yellow. I'll be fascinated to keep my eyes on the Hilton Garden Inn and the Hampton Inn Suites, where last night we saw a smattering of folks taking part in it, and I see a couple already. Folks on the parking garage getting involved in the action too. This is a pretty majestic stadium for Banana Ball. The 405 has treated us right. Have you enjoyed your stay in the capital of the Sooner State, Carson?
I have. I certainly have. I wish my voice lived up to the enthusiasm I wish to convey here. But no, everyone's been very nice. The food's been awesome. Went out to Stockyard City to Cattleman's at the recommendation of Kurt Kessler. Got myself a 16-ounce ribeye and 2 beers for $40. I love a bargain and I love steak, so when those two can combine into one wonderful offering, I'm a happy man.
And when you order your steak, how do you like it cooked, Carson?
Salt and pepper and flash photography.
What the heck does that mean? What does that mean?
Just show it a picture of a forest fire.
It's good stuff, buddy.
Like we're right there.
Got a little Bricktown Brewery action on Wednesday night. That was a delightful experience as well. I'm still dying to get into the Mickey Mantle Steakhouse.
It's right across the street. We can go patronize that after. Patronize is bad. Patronize is good.
Yes.
Yes.
We continue to learn tonight in the world of BTV. Tucker Perry, the new man on the mound. Talk about a guy who just wears whatever hat he wants. The submariner for the Party Animals has been excellent overall. That 5.78 ERA is still 0.02 runs less than the team average, and most of it is just from a tough last outing.
Yeah, he gave up 3 runs, including a Michael Deep 2-run shot in Game 2 in Las Vegas. But Tucker Perry's been very solid for the Party Animals. And what's more, a 99 ERA plus for Tucker Perry, just a hair under the tour average. Of course, the tour average always 100.
Yeah, and it's swayed a whole lot by guys like Danny Hosley, who are at 380, and Garrett Delano, who are at 161. The vast majority of pitchers involved are below the average mark, as Vinny DeRubius gets a pinch hit opportunity in the DH spot for Dakota McFadden, who will end his night 2 for 2 with 3 runs driven in, a homer and a double. Not a bad evening at the ballpark. 2-0 count on Vincent, who's coming back from dislocating his shoulder playing spike ball during the rain delay in George M. Steinbrenner Field before the MLB PAA game. Can't make that up.
It's one of the wackier injuries you'll ever hear, up there with Joel Zamaya injuring his wrist playing Guitar Hero.
And Aaron Boone jumping on the trampoline in the 2003 offseason. Foul tip. Perry pretty much primarily fastball slider, and it's low 80s with the heater, low 70s with the bender. Really awkward at bat, especially for right-handed hitters. And as the count is full, the heater breaks down and in. 2-seam changeup-esque on righties. Payoff pitch. That one below the knees. Good AB from Vinny, who is going to try and test the Party Animal sprint defense. Flipping around the outfielders. The tag from Breland just a hair late. And our Italian stallion in scoring position with nobody gone here in the bottom of the 7th. The last AB Vinny had in Banana Land was the flare single to right. That was a part of that 4-run rally against the Party Animals in night 1 in Tampa. Here comes Jesse.
Time Women's World Series champion, a 2-time National Player of the Year, a 4-time All-American, and the softball home run champion with 122 home runs from the University of Oklahoma, Jocelyn
You want to talk about a living legend. Jocelyn Allo soaks up the scenes of over 10,000 folks, absolutely ravenous and rowdy and so happy that she has blessed us with her presence tonight. Jesse said just about everything you need to know. This is one of the greatest college softball players of all time. And she was sending laser beams all over the field in batting practice tonight. Ahead 2 balls and no strikes.
I wonder if that arm slot is advantageous for her. It's a little similar to what she's seen.
I think any arm slot is no problem at all. That one squibbed down the first base line. Cue ball will stay foul. Vinny retreats back to second base. Jocelyn out of Halua, Hawaii. And ahead in the count 3-1 as that one just south of the knees.
And just like Breland Almadova, she too, a Gatorade Player of the Year back in Hawaii.
Not just a Gatorade Player of the Year, a 2-time Gatorade Player of the Year as the count runs full, pitcher's pitch. And Vinny swipes third base. Second steal in as many tries on the tour for DeRubius. Payoff pitch. Cut on and missed. Nasty sinker down below the knees. But listen to that ovation for Jocelyn Allo. I'm not sure you could have given her a tougher matchup with the absolutely bizarre Tucker Perry on the bump. She pinch hits for Jackson Olsen. Now Ryan Cox will swing it. Pop out and ground out tonight. Reminder, whether it's 2 outs or 4 Bananas runs, this inning will eventually end as that one squibbed down the third base line. Perry off his back foot. Really athletic play by the Party Animals pitcher. And the Nanners down to their final out in the 7th. They do score a run. Our giveaway is close to coming to a close. The magic word tonight is Sooners. As you get another look at the excellent play from Tucker Perry bouncing off the mound and retiring Cox at first.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Party Animals pitchers make some incredible plays up the mound. Tucker Perry's going to add to that, just ranging over and making a great missile strike over to Jason Swan at first base.
Coxie does pick up his 12th RBI on the tour, but the Bananas need to get a man on before they can dream of tying this inning. That ball ripped down the third base line, grabbed by Bloomer, 360 across the diamond, pulls Swan off the bag. And Bill is now 2 for 3 on the night. He has reached base all 3 times. Got on an E3 in his previous journey around the bases. And the Nanners have life here in the 7th. Danny Hosley represents the innings tying run. 2-base walk-off sprint to win the 2nd, and then scolded a ball straight to Breland and left. And the heater gets him behind 0-1. That ball served into the second deck. Perry 1 strike away from giving the Party Animals their first lead in the all-important points category tonight. And the way the timer's going, the 8th inning is going to be our final tonight.
And you would think the Bananas probably at this point just want to concede the point and get to the 8th inning where they can rally and every run will count as a point.
Just barely off the end of the bat. Good trajectory, not enough distance for Danny Hosley. As Breland gets him for the 2nd time tonight, here's the young professor.
does mean only one thing. If you look at the clock, we are getting close to that 2-hour time limit, which means the 8th inning will be our final inning. Here's how that works in the game of banana ball. In the final inning, every run counts for a point. That means any run scored by the party animals and or the bananas will count towards the end of the game. This is as high stakes as it gets. The score right now is 4-3 party animals. The bananas need to hold them here and make their comeback. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final inning.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the ring dudes for tonight.
Well, Shark lets everybody know about the ring dudes. We'll tell you about the final inning rules as Kyle Lewigs, normally a ring dude, our starting pitcher tonight, holds up that last inning sign. Always, it'll be the 9th inning or the inning in which the clock is going to expire, and with a minute and a half left on that thing, scientifically impossible for us to get through the 8th this evening. During the final inning, all runs scored count as points, and if you're tied at the end of this frame, we're going to go to showdown tiebreakers. This is only the 4th time in 38 games on the tour that we have not gotten in 9 innings within our 2-hour time limit. Mr. Electric, the new man on the mound, rocking an Oklahoma fit, some new glasses and a hat to boot. Kyle Lewigs is the only Bananas pitcher who's thrown more innings on the tour than Dearman at 58. And the minutes per inning awfully good, just a couple seconds past 4 minutes.
And we've seen Dearman's MPI numbers even better when he comes out of the bullpen in relief. He's a guy who works fast. Really, the main thing with Dearman is control of the strike zone. If he's able to establish strikes early, he's going to get outs and get through innings very quickly. And by the way, you see a 5.59 ERA. Christian Dearman's ERA plus on the season, a 102, an above average banana ball pitcher so far on the tour.
Yeah, he's about 4/5 of a run better than the Bananas average as far as pitchers go. He's got the top of the order for the party animals. Hampton sprays that foul, 1-1 count on the switch hitting center fielder. Comes in 1 for 4 on the night, a double and a run scored. Lytle and Skoll on deck and in the hole. That ball a mile high, deep to right field, but Noah Bridges on the track, catches it in his cowboy hat. 7th trick play in 9 tries for Bridges. That was a doozy.
We've seen Ryan Cox catch one in the jumbo hat, the Noggin Boss hat, but how about Noah Bridges taking off the cowboy hat and coming up with the snag?
It actually bounces from the cowboy hat off his chest into his glove. Even more impressive than I originally imagined. That guy makes those North Carolinians. I shouldn't have said it.
You got it.
Shouldn't have tried. That guy makes those North Carolinians proud, doesn't he?
He sure does. The pride of the Tar Heel State.
You sound terrific, Carson.
I sound really good.
Now Joe Lytle behind 1-2.
Just a treat for all the senses, Biko.
That's a fact. He's 2 for 3 on the night. 3 runs driven in, a pair of base knocks. And a cut and a miss. Nasty 2-seamer. Moved about 3 feet away from Lytle. And a couple quick outs for Dearman here in the top of the 8th.
Yeah, really excellent pitch from Christian Dearman, breaking away from Joe Lytle. And Joe with 2 hits tonight, just wanting to stay aggressive up there at the plate, but it ends up not working in his favor here.
Still an amazing 2-game series in his hometown, as well as his college town. Joe Lytle spent all of the first 21 plus years of his life here in Oklahoma City. Ends up going 5 for 9 with a 1-base sprint across the 2 games. As it's a 3-0 count on Jake Skoll, 0 for 3 on the night, an RBI sprint and a run scored. And he'll take the 4-pitch sprint rather. Nanners get it around the infield quickly. Skoll testing their defense. And like only Skoll can, he frazzles the sprint defense of the Bananas and has 2 bases. That's his tour-leading 20-second sprint. For the on-base percentage king. Actually, forget that. Make it 23 sprints. I forgot he already had one this evening. Great speed and scoring position for Bryson Bloomer. 1 for 4 on the night with a single and a run scored. Carson, this is the 20th stop in Banana Ball history. Where does Oklahoma City rank for you?
The ballpark itself, I think, is my favorite one.
I think I agree, as that's caught by a fan! Bryson Bloomer, for the second time in as many nights, is victim of a pop-out to a fan in the stands. Here comes the young professor.
Fans have done their job, and they have held the party animals. Right now, the Bananas are going to come to bat. Every run counts. 1 run will tie it. 2 runs walk the whole thing off. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it, and we are going to start a big wave to get it going here. We're going to start out in right field, so get ready, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to wave it out all the way down this way.
Carson, I would love to get your final thoughts on Oklahoma City and then free you because it's about to get wild in your life.
This is true. I would say this ballpark is, the fans have been electric. They showed up early. They've been loud the entire game. The whole city's on fire. There's Bananas flags hanging from people's houses. This place is the wiki Wild West. It's absolutely insane. So I want to thank you guys for having me on the broadcast tonight. Thanks for letting me intrude into your lives and into your homes. Everyone watching on YouTube. I want to give a shout out to my mom. Hello, Beth. So good to see you. And Dad, my grandpa's watching tonight as well. They are tuned in and ready for a wild finish to this game, guys.
I aspire to be a dad someday in my life. That's amazing.
Thanks for the grub, Carson.
Yeah, that was...
Love you, boys.
Love you too, buddy. That was a really sweet and delicious sausage that Carson blessed us with.
One of my favorite treats we've ever had.
Legitimately, I agree.
I love a sausage. I love a hot dog. You can't go wrong with it.
You love some meat wrapped up in the skin of meat.
Oh, big time, you know? And with a bun, no less. I mean, get out of town.
Bun was scrumptious. Onions were terrific. The peppers were great. 13 out of 12. Bottom of the order, trying to feed the top for the Nanners. Noah Bridges in the 10-hole leads off. Our 8th and final inning tonight, as that heater just misses the low outside corner. Tucker Perry being stretched into his 2nd inning thrown.
And all the Bananas need to do here in the bottom of the 8th is score 1 run. It'll count as a point and even up this ball game. And again, going back to the top of the 8th, the fan catching the foul ball with 2 outs. If the Bananas are able to come back and win that game, that's the most impactful play of this game, and it's made by a fan.
Jason Swan beats Noah Bridges in a foot race to first base. And the Nanners down to their final 2 outs as their order turns on its head. Dior Meadows, 2 for 2 on the night, singles in each of his last 2 at-bats. 2-base sprint his first time up. Even with being aboard all 3 times tonight, he has not scored a run. Picked off of third base, stranded at first and stranded at second. He represents the tying run tonight for the Nanners. Eric Jones waits on deck. That one, worm burner to short. Chase Acuff, smooth as silk across the diamond. The Bananas down to their final out. And here comes EJ.
Banana Nation from Bessie, Oklahoma. The Banana got the ball.
Slade!
Got the tail end of that one, and congratulations to what sounded like Slade? Question mark? Spade. Spade Nightingale.
What a name.
That might be the greatest name I've heard in my entire life.
Spade Nightingale in Die Hard 5.
Sounds
probably a Die Hard 5.
Vincent Chapman barking at Tucker Perry. Joe Lytle had to hold him back. I don't know what was happening. Well, Josh and I were having fun with the name of the fan who just made that out. It's a 1-0 count. Make it 1-1? No, I think it's 1-1 now. Confusion on the field. EJ 1 for 3, a single and a run scored back in the first. He was the inning-winning run, oh so long ago. Strikeout swinging each of his last 2 trips to the dish. And the count 2-1.
We've seen EJ get some big hits in the clutch for the Bananas with their backs up against the wall against the Monarchs in Game 3 in Kansas City. 2 outs, EJ comes up and hits a game-tying solo home run. Who's to say he can't do it for a second time here in the month of May?
That was with the Bananas down to their final strike. That's where we are tonight as well. 2-2 count. Tucker Perry trying to split the series here in Oklahoma City. Back up the middle, Tucker can't grab it. Baber in defense, over to first, picked by Swan. Party Animals win a thriller 4-3. They haven't lost on a Saturday since March 25th in Montgomery. And the Bananas have lost their 5th straight game that occurs on a Saturday.
Hey, Mr. Banana.
EJ huffing it. But the junior college Gold Glover when he was at Daytona State makes light work of the Tour's home run king. And the Party Animals continue to battle back, as only a team of this caliber can.
Amazing nights here at Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark. Give yourselves a nice round of applause. The great news is the party's just beginning out on the plaza. Behind the left field gate, all your favorite players, every player will be out taking pictures, signing autographs, and spending time with you. Again, the Plaza Party is about to kick off behind the left field gate. Once again, Oklahoma City, we love you so much for going bananas with us. Have a beautiful rest of your weekend.
Thank you very much, Shark. After the Nanners dominated an evening ago, the Party Animals showing their mettle here in night 2 in Oklahoma City. They got their first lead of the evening going into the 8th inning, and they made it count.
It's an incredible game, one that we haven't seen a game like this much on the World Tour. We've seen some come from behind wins from the Bananas and the Party Animals. They've all come in the 9th inning when the runs count for points. But for the Party Animals, they rallied scoring late. They scored in the 6th, the 7th, and the 5th innings and were able to pull ahead in the points department and win this game 4-3.
Yeah, it was an impressive come-from-behind victory for the Party Animals, who were down from the jump. The Bananas win the 1st inning. Party Animals won the 2nd, but then the Bananas bounced back, winning the 4th, and had a lead for a majority of the contest tonight until the Party Animals eke it out at the end when it matters the most. Pico Scala alongside Josh Chalevsky, thank you so much for watching tonight on YouTube and in the K-Club comment section. You folks were amazing. Getting interactive with the polls was a whole lot of fun. We gave away a pair of Hokas. You will find out who the lucky winner is in just a moment. But before we do that, our next broadcast will be 6:30 p.m. Central, Monday night in Tulsa. We will be in Tulsa, and that will decide this 2023 World Tour the battle for Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot like in Sugar Land, Texas. That was a 3-game series. Of course, the Party Animals coming away with that series. The Bananas really want to win some kind of state here in the Central Time Zone, and they're going to need it in OKC on Monday in Tulsa.
Yeah, that's a fact. And then you see, no, you nailed it. Yeah, good work, Josh. And then after that, we will be in Nashville Friday and Saturday night, 6 days and 7 days from now, respectively. So, Tulsa Monday night. It'll be a fun little off day on the morrow. Maybe some content. Actually, no, you can count on content coming from all the Bananas and Party Animals players for our Hokas giveaway tonight. Drum roll, please. Our winner, a Bananas insider and K-Club member, Judy Pounders! That's what I'm talking about, Judy. This one completely randomly decided, as it always is, and I know we had north of 600 entries last night. Okay, well, she's not in the K-Club, according to my voice in my head, but she will be in the K-Club, because how can Judy not be in the K-Club? This is news to me. Anyhow, what was my train of thought?
Judy wins the Hoka!
Judy! That's for all the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon bottles of water and all the fun presents that you delivered myself and then Josh in those games in Luther Woolard Field in Macon, Georgia. Judy, you are an absolute legend. Congratulations. And, I see at the bottom here, you get an invite to the K-Club. So you also get an invite. It's just... read the first message, not the second. Okay, as I said, we'll be back in action on Monday night. Party Animals 4-3 winners tonight. Let's take a look at all of the action this evening as we shout out the cast and crew that made it possible. And it starts with our technical director in Savannah, Mr. Griffin Ellis, pressing all the right buttons all night long. Our director, Keegan Woods, always shouting out the right shots at the right times. Our video legend, Mr. Chris Sachi, saucing together our Showman of the Night package. Our YouTube king, Mr. Zach Bro. On audio tonight, Katie Duke. Then on replay, Jalen Johnson, the reason why you're seeing all these great vids in front of your eyeballs right this second. Dakota Burnstead on the graphics, Michael Basista on the scorebug, the dynamic duo that continue to just absolutely shine in the land of graphics. On the first base camera, Emerson Elmgren, the Iron Horse of Bananas TV, and across the diamond, Austin Wood, superb over there as well. On the high home camera, Mr. Clayton Franklin, one of the best mustaches my eyes have ever sent to my brain. In center field, Andy Gibson, thanks again for helping us out, Andy, you absolutely rock. On the low home camera tonight, Mr. Chris Haynes, and on the roaming camera, Syl Williams. Thank you so much, Chris and Syl. You guys are both tremendous. Our drone flying extraordinaire on the Banana Panorama, DJ Squints, a.k.a. Nick Keldy, and our moderators in the chat, Katrissa Ballet and Colbite. Special thanks to AJ Navarro and David Jones for hooking us up with everything we could ever dream of here in Oklahoma. And thank you to the executive producers of Banana TV, Jesse, Emily, and Carrie Cole, as well as Jared Orton. Josh Talevsky on the color commentary. You rock tonight.
Biko, you rock as well. Happy to do this with you, Playboy.
Thank you so much. For the straw that stirs the drink of BTV, our coordinating producer, Mr. Chad Reese, a big thank you to Jake Lewigs, Tyle Hankins, and Carson Bowen for popping up into the broadcast booth and having fun with us. We will see you on Monday night in Tulsa, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. I'm Biko Scala saying so long for now. Party Animals, 4-3 victors. They are back up to a 4-game advantage over the Nanners on the tour. We'll catch you on Monday night. And, of course, we'll see you later!